everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of Sticks and Stripes for the 2026 lacrosse season. I am Lane Calkins, your co-host, and I'm joined today by Cooper Mueller. Our other co-host, Sean Cameron, did not, in fact, get fired. He just graduated, and he's now working in New York City. Sean Cameron, we miss you, but Cooper, excited to be working with you this year.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for bringing me on, Lane. I'm really looking forward to this whole year. We'll miss you, Camo. Excited for the first episode today, being joined by Allen and Cooper Kistler, two of our captains here on the lacrosse team.
Hi guys, Dylan Allen. I am a senior defender on the women's lacrosse team from Bergen County, New Jersey, and I'm studying architecture here at Princeton.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Cooper Kistler. I'm a politics major here at Princeton from San Francisco, California. Other Cooper on the podcast today, and a defenseman on the lacrosse team.
Yeah, so Coop, walk me through what happened this past Saturday. I know you guys had your home opener, which is exciting, but ended in a tough loss. What happened? I know we all were at the game, and it was definitely like a little rough, but I know you guys definitely wanted to pull it out again, and it ended up being a good game in the second half. So what happened?
Yeah, definitely a tough game. Tough first quarter. We came out down 7-1 early. Kind of beginning of the year jitters. You got to get your feet under yourself. We were able to recover a little bit during the second half, but too little too late. And I think we're really looking forward coming back next weekend against Maryland, having a big one for this game, and all the boys were really getting fired up, and just kind of be a really big second game for us.
Gotcha. What do you think is the focus for this week?
I think just learn from our mistakes. It's tough. The first game of the year is always really tough. You got to learn where your faults are, and definitely that first game exposes a lot, which is a good thing and a bad thing, but learning this entire week and spending a lot of time in the film room and out on the field will be a really big emphasis for us.
Yeah, for sure.
How about you guys? You really excited for this first get a season opener at Loyola this weekend?
Yeah, it's exciting. Loyola in the past has always had our number. It's always been a really tough, aggressive, great lacrosse game out of two generational powerhouses. So definitely excited for that. Also, it's definitely inspiring to watch these past weeks of women's lacrosse games. I know it's tough not being able to play, but I think starting the week later, especially due to the Ivy League rules, was a smart decision. But it's really cool to see all these upsets that have been happening and the rankings just constantly shifting. So I think it's a good sign for everyone in the NCAA to just be prepared that everyone has your number and everyone's ready to come and play. So I think we're really gearing up for Loyola. I think it's gonna be a really good game. They're always a really good team, so it's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm excited to watch you guys.
Yeah, and I think to kick things off with our guests, we're gonna start with a little icebreaker. So, Dylan and Cooper, what was your welcome to college moment?
Yeah, I can start. Mine was definitely, I think, our freshman year, we played Maryland at Maryland. This was we were playing in their football stadium because their lacrosse stadium was under construction or something. And the lights were bright as I don't know what. The music was loud as I don't know what. I'm sitting in the middle of this field, freaking out. I'm like, what am I doing here? How did I get here? And then at this point, I wasn't really playing that much, getting a couple minutes here and there at the end of games. And my name gets called up from the bench, and I'm basically supposed to go in and play a face guard on one of their top players, and I was genuinely freaking out. I was again, who sent me here? Why am I here? But it ended up being fine. It was a really cool moment, definitely eye-opening for me.
Yeah, I've got a similar experience. Freshman year, playing Ohio State in a scrimmage in the fall. You work all fall for this. You're a freshman. You don't really know what to expect. You're playing a Big Ten opponent. Come out, not playing at the beginning as I'm a freshman, and get thrown into the fire and get burned immediately off the bat. Scored on, yelled at, full disaster. We could pull up the tapes. It's bad. But yeah, not my greatest start. Shout out Mitch Pelkey was on the team, and so got smoked there. And then the next day, flipped the page. Our whole team went off to Spain for an international trip, which we do once every 4 years, and that was kind of kicking it into gear. And then I was off and running and had to learn pretty quick.
Nice. Coop, how about you?
Yeah, I've kind of a similar story, but a little earlier. First day of fall practice. Coming in, I think this is a common experience for a lot of us. You're the best player growing up and on your defense, and you think you're really good. And I got matched up against Billy Barnes in a one-on-one drill, and I go out and just kind of trying to figure out the drill. But I'm like, all right, one-on-one, this is something that I can do. And I square up, and in a snap, he teleported around me and went and scored. And I was like, all right, that's dunk. Get to the back of the line. I'm like, all right, that was just one-time thing. I'm going to match up and do a lot better. Come out again. It's Billy Barnes again. I'm like, all right, he's going right this time. He went right last time. go right, get teleports left around, and scored on again. I was like, all right, that's probably the end of my practice today, and I was able to hopefully learn from there. But yeah, there was definitely a tough first couple weeks.
Yeah,
Lynn?
for sure. Mine was actually at our home opener my freshman year, my very first collegiate Division I lacrosse game. And I had somehow worked my way into the starting lineup. I don't necessarily know if I deserved to be there, but I was there against UVA, who I think at the time was like top 5, top 10 opponent.
Yeah.
Really good. My very first rep on the field, I get past the ball once we go into the offensive end. And SCX used to have these sticks that would warp in the center. And I go to catch the ball, and the ball gets stuck. So I'm trying to throw the ball out of my stick, and the ball just won't leave my stick. And in the women's game, that's a yellow card because it's like illegal use of stick. So I ended up getting a yellow card before I even made my first pass on the collegiate field. So that was definitely a fun time in the box. But thankfully, it didn't happen again. We got our 6 fixed.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. And I think to preface, we wanted to bring Dylan and Cooper on the show, not only because they are our dear friends, but also because they are one of the 3 senior captains that each of the teams have, and they have really shown like great leadership throughout the year. They both are on the defensive end of the ball. They're both great defenders, like have consistently played throughout recent years and just have honestly like, killed on the field. But yeah, I think, how has your role in the team changed since becoming a captain?
Yeah. You want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I think being a captain for the team is really the highest honor. We've got such a talented group this year that it's such a great opportunity to be able to lead the guys. But I think it's important that we don't really change it all too. Obviously take the role of leadership, but don't change who you are at all. Continue to try to be myself along with Colin and Chad and chase our goal, to the national championship. But the highest honor, and in terms of how I approach it, I wouldn't say I change my actions too much. Obviously, always kind of have the team in one mind, but also have to perform for the team too. So can't stress too much about the team, can't stress too much about the individual. Always kind of balancing the two, but making sure the team is on the right trajectory and always trying to message the team in the most effective way is definitely top of mind constantly. As I think we've got a really talented group this year and hopefully can achieve things that we haven't in the past or for a while really.
That was a great answer. Retweet that. And then, just going off that, I would say I'm definitely big on communication, making sure I'm communicating with every single person on our team. And I know people like to hear things different. So if I need to text so-and-so on the side, then I'll text them on the side. Or if I need to, text people collectively or get them working collectively, I'll do that. I think just making sure we're bringing everyone along with us. I feel like that's always been big theme of ours throughout our 4 years, and I want to make sure that continues to happen. Working alongside Abby and Jamie has been great. We all have very different leadership styles, but I think it works well together. And just making sure we're all getting to our end goals as a team together has been the goal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah, I think with what Coop's saying is definitely rings true. Just hearing it for me as a younger guy, I remember coming in freshman year, and when we would bring it up after a goal together, Coop was always the first one to talk and kind of help settle guys down and really bring us together as a unit. So I mean, last year when we were going through the whole captain voting process, obviously anyone on the defensive end would have thought of Cooper as the first person to kind of bring the whole unit together and help settle us down as a leader definitely since your freshman year, and I know for a fact since your sophomore year, so that's been very cool.
Yeah, and I think on the Dylan side of things, she's not necessarily the loudest voice in any room, but I think she's the one person that she steps on the field and she makes juice plays, and she our defense would not be the same without her. She just makes these plays that completely change the course of our games, and I think by leading with that and then eventually gaining her voice throughout her 4 years here, it's been really inspiring. I always think about, oh my gosh, this is a memory that lives in my head probably every single day. I literally think about every single time I see you. We were playing Yale last year, and Dylan's playing defense against one of the best midfielders in the country, and she just shuts her down, gets the ball out of her stick, runs it literally coast to coast, and then passes it to Haven, who then who scores, I think. And our entire sideline erupted, not only because Dylan was literally about to score the ball and she passed the ball, but just because it was such a juice play, and it was at a time they really, really needed it. And I can say I've maybe hugged our head coaching staff 3 times in my career, and we jumped up and all of us fully embraced in midair. If anyone was watching the sidelines, it was as if we all were chest bumping. But I think that is truly the epitome of Dylan as a leader, which I think is super cool.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess kind of for this season, what are you both most excited for as you look forward throughout the rest of the spring?
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about like legacy and like how we want to leave a legacy as an individual and as a class a lot too. And I think something we really have been harping on is like, again, bringing our underclassmen with us. Like, we've seen this program at its highest of highs, some lows as well, and we just want to make sure like it continues on like an upward trajectory over the next few years when we're not here anymore. I think we had a lot of injuries last season, which was really tough for us, and a lot of girls coming back in and out of rehab this fall, but it gave our freshmen a lot of opportunity to step up, and I think that's been like great. So just seeing all of our freshmen grow as individual players and like working collectively at this level has been great. And yeah, just like making sure that whatever we leave behind is like better than we found it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the first thing that came to my mind is leave it better than we found it. Mm-hmm. I was grateful to be here with Coop and have like great leaders come before us. And so hoping to just provide a great experience for the young guys and then also for us veterans to really chase the real goal here of hopefully raising the trophy at the end of the year. We've been knocking on the doorstep, and I think guys are eager and anxious to try to get this thing done. And to get it done, we got to start winning. So we got to focus on the details.
Starts this weekend.
and get to work with it. But no, I think the end goal for us, since we started talking right after we lost to Syracuse at the end of the year last year, was just we gotta go as far as we can this year. Mm-hmm. And the fastest way to get there is dial in the details and then do everything possible outside of it to keep ourselves eligible and also keep ourselves in the best shape to kind of chase this thing. And so I'm really excited to see where we go this year.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Building off that, I don't know if whoever's watching knows this, but the Ivy League has regulations on when we can start practice, which is typically like a month or so after every other school in the country can start practice. So what the men's and women's lacrosse teams do is we come back early during winter break and we do captain's practice, which is run by Cooper and Dylan. So they basically have to like create the entire practice plan, reserve the field space, basically like they have full control over the teams over like the 2 weeks that the men are here and like the 1 week that women are here. And I think it's just like a really inspiring time because we come back from winter break, we're ready to go, like after like the 4 weeks we spent alone, and you kind of have like this time to just like hang out with your friends, but also know that every other team in the country is working hard. So can you guys just like walk me through like your mindset going to captains, like how you would plan that?
Best
like,
time of the year.
Captain's practice, best time of the year.
Yeah.
I think.
Always.
Not really. But yeah, we get to build out the practice plan, or what we call the PP. Sit down with Colin and Chad, and obviously constantly talking with Coach Madelon and our coordinators on how to build that, how to effectively use our time, make sure our sticks are dialed. So when we get back with the coaches, we're just humming and able to play at full speed and then play 6-on-6, get more competitive, get the ride clear, get the rest of the systems installed to make sure we're humming. But outside of practice, which may be the more important part of the 2 weeks, is we get to play a lot of Fortnite. We get to play some cards with each other. So that's a blast. Just getting the whole team together. It's really 2 weeks of seniors, working on their thesis a little bit, juniors working on their JPs, but really just.
I don't think you're working on your thesis.
Yeah,
I
should have been.
Yeah.
But no, great time for us to all bond, and also great time to just knock the rust off our sticks and get ready, so we can come prepared for the season.
Yeah. Similar for us, I think we start off the week with a little bit of fun and then we kind of like dial in more. But no, we come back. My favorite tradition of our team is our welcome back hibachi. We all go as a team. It's like 33 of us packed into this hibachi restaurant, like 4 tables. I don't know. It's just great vibes when we come back to campus. And then the next day we'll start practices every day. It was definitely a lot more stressful building the PP than I thought it was going to be. Like, I was like, oh, like, it's fine. Like, we do drills every day in practice. I was like, we had the coaches, like, send us some drills. I was like, what do we do with these girls? Like, there's so many of them. But it was fun. Just making sure, like, like Cooper said, like, we're fine-tuning things that, like, we don't want our coaches to harp on us when we see them the following week about. So making sure everyone knows the plays, making sure everyone knows the defensive systems is, like, kind of what we want to focus on, and then obviously like playing as much as we can, 7v7s. It's my favorite time of the practice. But yeah, like I don't know. That's it.
I mean, it is a special time. How often can you be around 50 of your best friends with no schoolwork?
Yeah.
Being able to play lacrosse, hang out, go in early before, get your treatment done, hang out after, do your extras, and then you have 10 hours after practice to watch movies, hang out with your friends, just be with 50 of us hanging out all day. We have our little dinners that we would have this year, and we would hang out for 2 hours after because no one has really anything going on because we haven't started school yet. It's just a really special time to kind of get really close with your whole team.
Yeah, one of those days was actually the snowstorm this year when it snowed like 2 feet outside. And all of 9 seniors of my grade, we all live in the same hall in Henry Hall. And we literally sat in Maggie and Amelia, 2 other seniors' room, from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. No one got up unless it was like eat food or go to Wawa, and we just sat there watching TV for 9 hours.
It was great.
And it's just like, you're never going to get that again in your life. It's so much fun. And like, you wouldn't be able to do that unless you came back to school early. Like, we're working out with your friends, which is like just the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess kind of another little icebreaker type question. Do you guys have any superstitions?
A little bit.
Game day practice?
I mean, so Coop and I are members of the C4 crew on our team.
Yep.
Blue C4 from Wawa.
Absolutely.
It sounds foul.
But not the Jolly Rancher flavor. It has to be the regular blue.
Oh, just the
straight up
Thank
blue.
you for clarifying.
If you're wondering. So there's a crew of us that right when we get down to the cookie, we all crack our C4s. Coop has a serious routine of caffeine intake.
It's rigid. It's rigid.
Yeah, very rigid and very regimented.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But no, Coop's very focused on that. And then other than that, I tuck my shoelaces into kind of my third cross of my shoelace. So my 2 little hoops I tuck into my shoelace.
And it stays the whole game.
I try to make it stay the whole game, but it doesn't always. I always have this fear that I'm gonna get caught on my shoelaces, and so I always do that. But other than that, caffeine club, shoelaces, and I'm ready to go. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a superstition, but like it's like a routine. I only listen to Drake on game days. Like if I have my
I
headphones
think you only
in,
listen to Drake in general.
yes, but like specifically game days, that is the only artist I'm playing by the time. If we are getting on a bus at like 5, like really early in the morning, and our game is until night, I'm only listening to Drake that entire time. Like it's just something that like I have to do. I don't know. It just gets me juiced. Other people don't. But yeah, that's about it.
Funny.
Lane, do you have any superstitions?
Yeah, I sleep. My dad went here. He graduated in 1992. Love you, Dad. But I wear his national championship shirt to bed, and then these rainbow elephant shorts, and then I braid Amelia Hughes' hair before every single game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's special, yeah. I have pretty much just my eating habits along with my, a lot of caffeine. So high caffeine intake, and then I'll bring a Wawa 10-inch hoagie down and eat the first half right before we start the first half of the game, and I'll eat the second half at halftime. Kind of fuel the body. I hate playing with my stomach empty. It's something I can't do it. So it's kind of my routine.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
That's concerning.
it's weird, but I need it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Extremely controversial.
Definitely. I think that a lot of scientists would like recommend otherwise against it, but it's fine. It works for me.
Also heard some rumors that you're anti-stretching.
Sometimes on game day, I think there's the classic Randy Moss quote: "84 don't stretch on game day." So I come ready. But yeah, no, I'm on game day. I like to stay away from the stretching. I think that keeping the muscles tight keeps you faster. Moving around, that's just kind of my philosophy. It's been working for me thus far.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure you've been a nightmare for Tony.
he's trying his best. I'm trying my best. We're working together. We make a good team.
Yeah.
So
Coop's in the stretching line right behind me, and we'll be, cracking jokes as we warm up. And I'm always like, Coop, how you feeling? He goes, oh, really tight today. And I'm like, ready to go? He's like, oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
want to be as tight as possible. So,
It's crazy.
yeah. I have an interesting question for Cooper that I think the viewers would really appreciate. You're a big fan of recovery.
Oh, yeah.
And, I remember seeing some pictures of you in the summer, and you're in red light saunas, and around Princeton you have these weird memberships, and you're driving around on Facebook Marketplace looking for a sauna. Could you just walk me through some of your recovery habits?
Yeah. So actively in search of an NIL sauna deal. No, I try to take my recovery really seriously and get made fun of a lot for it ultimately. But yeah, over winter break, Chad and I tried to buy a sauna on Facebook Marketplace, which did not go as planned, and realized there's a lot of people out there trying to scam us. So currently I'm not in possession of a sauna, but thanks to the people at Swift Physical Therapy, about 25 minutes away from here.
Are you sponsored?
They're great.
Direct
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in their sauna, cold tub, dry needling, and then also Normatec every night in bed, as well as have these kind of Normatecs that I'll throw on in class, or roll my feet out in class. For the guys that sit around me, I always pass the ball around as everyone's rolling their feet out. So always trying to make sure I'm as dialed as possible. But very funny story. Almost got scammed over winter break for trying to buy a sauna. So I'm currently not in possession of a sauna, but if anyone wants to give me a sauna, I'm looking for an NIL deal. I'm actively in search. But trying to always take recovery super seriously, as all the guys on the team really do.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and most people walk around their house in slippers, and Cooper walks around in these carbon fiber insole clogs that look like Crocs
Yeah.
without the holes.
I had surgery on my foot sophomore year after the season, and so I'm trying to always wear insoles and closed-toed shoes, and so I wear Victory insoles, clogs, and so unfortunately
You're just farming all the NIL.
they're probably like the most unstylish thing in the world, but
Worse than
hopefully
Canes?
what
Worse than Canes.
I don't know.
Hey, we're sponsored by Canes.
I
Love you,
love
Canes.
I love them. I wear them all the time. These are my favorite.
Yeah, they're definitely not stylish, and probably get the most crap about those. But wear those around the house for sure.
Love that. A little bit more serious note. So Dylan, your career at Princeton has definitely been not only inspirational, but also I think very unique, and it's also a testament to like always being ready for your moment. So to preface, Dylan didn't see a lot of the field freshman year. She was mostly kind of used as what we refer to as our Eagle Girl. So she would go on the field and like face guard people. We also have this joke on our team called Pickle Jordan, because we have this play called Jordan, which I can't describe or else it would give it away. But Dylan would basically go on this field for solely that purpose, and Jen would just look down our sideline and scream, "Pickle, do you know how to run Jordan?" And then Dylan would have to like rip off all of her sweats and then hop on the field. So she kind of like served that role on our team for 2 years. Then sophomore year, like worked her way into the lineup, and then I think her junior year, the first time she gained a starting position, she became an All-American and is like one of the best defenders in America, in my opinion. So just like walk me through that, like the course of your career at Princeton, and kind of like how your mindset shifted and how you just kind of like absolutely exploded into the defensive scene.
Yeah. I'll kind of start a little bit before Princeton, just because I feel like that also says a lot about my journey here. But basically my recruiting process was like really weird, and I like didn't have offers like many schools. It was Princeton. Can I say the other schools? Can I say that? Sorry.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. It was Princeton, Temple, and GW. Those were the three schools that had like reached out to me and like showed any interest in like wanting to recruit me, which in itself was just like kind of weird. They're very different schools. They bring a lot of different things to the table. My parents were like, "You gotta go to Princeton," like obviously, and I was like, okay. So ended up here. When I first got the offer, I was just like obviously stoked and like just wanted to do anything I could to make others better. If it didn't mean like playing on game day, but just like making others better. And I took that with a lot of pride and heart, and I made sure that I was getting better so I could make my teammates better. Did that for about 2 years, and I think sophomore year was definitely harder than freshman year. You know, freshman year you don't really expect that much usually. I knew I had a lot of room to grow, and I was just working on that. And then sophomore year I felt like I had proven myself, but it wasn't, I guess, enough. And sometimes that happens at the Division I level, or you know, just playing at collegiate lacrosse in general. So I think that was a little bit hard mentally. You know, you show up practice every day and you're just like, I think I can do more. Like, I know I can like compete. Like, I know I can do this, and you're just not always given the opportunity. But like Jen always says, like, just make sure you're ready for when that time comes. And I think that's what I kept doing, is working to make sure that I was ready for my moment. And then junior year rolled around. At this point, I was still extremely nervous that I wasn't going to start, nor was I going to get a lot of minutes. And I made sure in fall to prove that like I was capable of doing a lot more than I have in the past. So as soon as the season started junior year, I was just like really locked in. I think it wasn't until like midway through the season that I was like, oh shoot, like I'm pretty good at this. Like I'm getting pretty good at this. Like, come on. But you know, you hit a certain point in the season, you're playing a lot of more like in-conference games, and you're just like really focused on winning, and like that was all that I was thinking about. So when accolades come out at the end of the season, I was like, oh shoot, like I'm out there, like my name's out there. Like that was so cool. Like I remember I had like coaches from the past like emailing me and like texting me. They're like, oh my God, I saw your name. Like that's amazing. Like I'm so proud of you. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. Like I didn't know that there was a world where like my name could be known by like other players who were playing and like they look up to me. Like that was like so cool to like hear and see. So yeah, definitely not the easiest journey, but I'm so grateful for like everything that's happened so far. So yeah.
Yeah, I think just going into the season, obviously you guys had your first game. We haven't played yet, but definitely a really exciting time, not only to be playing on our teams, but also to like to see the younger kids coming up, especially as seniors. So do you guys expect any like rising stars in the team, freshmen, sophomores, any guys that are going to like really break out this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been super lucky and have had like a lot of media recognition, especially some of our veteran guys have gotten a ton of love. But I think, I don't know about you, Coop, you can chime in too, but I think Finn Fox on the defensive side of the ball has been killing it. Guy shows up every day and just puts his head down and goes to work. Doesn't matter what's going on or what he has going on in school or in life, really. Guy shows up and works hard every day, along with Hunter Spies. Those guys just show up and get to work every day. And then on the offensive side of the ball, there's so much talent and so much love on that side of the ball. But a little young gun, Parker Reynolds, who is in Coop and I's stretching line in the Gone. Shout out George Bond in the Gone. But no, Parker's a stud and has been doing great this fall. I expect him to continue to do super well this spring. I think he's going to be a super natural fit in our offense and play a ton and also just help the guys produce.
Totally. Yeah, I think they're looking great. And definitely with what Dylan was talking about earlier, it's easier as a young guy to get discouraged, and there's so many great players above you and great players in your class. So to be able to kind of step up as a young guy is something that's really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're in a similar boat. We have a lot of returners who are obviously, I expect to have great seasons. Like Meg Morris Rowe, we had an inter-squad scrimmage the other day. She had 5 on us.
Oh,
and I was like, all right. Like,
no one could
what are we doing?
Like, no one could
yeah,
guard
like
her.
that was bad. I probably should have faced her at that point. But no, we have a lot of new freshmen too. Like I said, they just had a lot of time in fall to really like up their game, and I think they did exactly that. We scrimmaged Army a couple weeks ago, and a lot of them showed out. We had like Devin on the midfield line with Becca, Katie, shout out Katie, love her. Our attacker, she's looking great down there as well. Just a lot of young talent, and they're all so eager. Like it's so funny. We all joke around. Like all the freshmen have shown up to practice literally every day since we got here, and they're like so smiley, like just so excited to be there. And I you know, it keeps me humble, like makes me excited, it makes me want to be there more. So yeah, excited to see.
Yeah, and it's super cool just because this fall we were recovering from like a lot of injuries. Like we had at one point 2 attackers to practice with.
That was bad.
And now we have 10, so we're like pretty much back to normal. But Karen kind of had to do some like mixing and matching of what midfielders that were coming in she thought could play attack, and she basically just picked up Kate Dente and was like, "You're playing attack now."
Yep.
And she's absolutely killing it, like just destroying everyone. She's just this like small little girl who can run past you. Like Becca and Devin are like the 2 fastest girls on our team, so I think it's like really exciting. But I think the fall definitely gave them a lot of time to grow. That is super unique to Princeton, and although it sucks that everyone was injured, like they got so much time in the field and so many reps during practice, which is like all you can really ask for, and like that's the only way you can grow and get better.
Yeah.
So I know they're gonna shine their moment.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely more of a question for Coop here, but with your living situation this year, you are off campus, joined by pretty much your entire grade, and I think all of us have spent a lot of time in that house and had a lot of great memories. So how has it been, living with so many guys, and has that been a different experience for you?
Totally, yeah. I think it's such a special experience. Sophomore year, a lot of guys on our team choose to live off campus, and so Coop's living off campus, and now I live in what we call Murray with 10 other seniors. we just built also what we call the Den, which is essentially a common room in our garage, and has 6 couches in there. Great place to hang. We have the Princeton lacrosse Wall of Fame, as we call it. But really living with all the guys is awesome. You're constantly getting everyone's kind of perspective on things, constantly watching film from practice, and just chopping about, what's going on the team, what dynamics do we need to look out for, what as seniors can we do to better the team, and then also what as captains can I do, and then as seniors as a group as a whole, really like, how can we make sure we leave this place better than we found it? And some really honest conversations are able to occur in the house, as well as some like the best laughs I have had here at Princeton, really, when we come back from a long day and recap kind of the day, the week, whatever it may be. But has been by far one of the best experiences to live off campus with some of my best friends.
Totally. I think it definitely brings the team a lot closer, too. I remember freshman year, sophomore year, I think a lot of the seniors can seem really intimidating, and they're a lot older than you, and it's tough to kind of approach them. But freshman fall, we would have our whole freshman class over there on a Monday night, Sunday during the day, just kind of hanging out with the seniors, and you're able to kind of break down some of those barriers and get super close with a guy that's 4 years older than you that if it weren't for a space like that, you might not really be as close with. I think it's something that's super special.
Totally. A lot of hot takes are thrown around. A lot of college football, NFL watched. But a great time to just be able to bond with the guys and provide a place outside of the locker room that we can all hang out and spend a lot of time together.
Totally.
Yeah. And on a similar note, Dylan and my class of 9 girls has pretty much lived in the same hall. Somehow, like the room draw gods are looking down on us. Yeah. But we have all lived in the same hall for the past 2 years. Last year, we lived in one of the 4 6-man dorms that exist on campus. As you can imagine, that was a disaster by the end of the year. But and Dylan and Haven and Amelia lived like right down the hall, and this year we've taken down like an entire hall and Henry. So it's all 9 of us living within like 5 feet of each other.
Yeah.
So how's that been?
It's great. Similar to like the Murray experience, except a little different. I think we get to like all hang out whenever. Like everyone's door is pretty much on tape. You can go in if you need something and they're not there. Like you can just grab it and go back later. Like it's fine. I think. Like Lane talked about earlier, but like the snow day was like genuinely like one of my favorite memories at Princeton so far. Just having all 9 of us, the 9-9, all together, just like hanging out for hours and like no one's sick of each other. Like we all get along so well. I think the coaches did a great job with our recruiting year.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah. But like these are literally like my sisters, and like I'm so scared to see what next year is going to be like without 8 other people that I like love so much. But yeah, memories galore.
Yeah, it's the best. And it's always fun when we live together because in the fall you have like a lot of early wake ups. Like we had 6:30 practice on Tuesdays, 6:30 run on Thursdays, and we all just like walk out of our beds in our pajamas at 5:30 in the morning. We all just look at each other. It's 50 or it's like 40 degrees outside, and we're like, I don't want to do this, but like we all go through it together. Like you have like the 20-minute walk from Henry to Caldwell, and it's brutal and it's cold and your hands are freezing off, but we're all just like joking and laughing about like anything. What we're gonna have to run and like what's gonna go on at practice. So I think like it truly makes it all worth it. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do like the wrap up thing as I started? Just be like, thanks for joining us today, and thank you, Dylan and Cooper. Tune in on Saturday to watch us play Maryland and the women play Loyola.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Thank you to Dylan and Cooper for joining us today. Thank you everyone for watching at home, and we're excited this week to play Maryland at noon and watch you guys kick it off and go have a great start to the season. So thank you everyone for
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Tune in and go Tigers. Good work, guys.
Slay.
Cool.